Alright, welcome back to all my tiny tots, little ones, big kids, tweens, teens, everyone in between, CGs, flips, and adults. Today we are reading chapters 67 through 70. That is a mouthful. So that'll be 67, 68, 69, and 70. As per usual, it'll be 4 chapters. Also, just so you know, I did update my AO3 as an archive of our own. If you'd rather read them there, which is also perfectly acceptable. It also does have a lot more chapters than I've been reading to you all. I believe we're up to 95 out of 105 right now. Plus I'm adding on another chapter right now. So yeah, I hope you'll enjoy regardless. Please take all trigger warnings. For real, I don't want to trigger anybody. I'm hoping to do timestamps, but I can't promise anything. I've been really bad at it lately. So just so you know, hopefully timestamps will be in the description and the comments, but I can't make any promises as per usual because I am very good at forgetting things. So I hope you'll enjoy regardless. And yeah. So chapter 67, CG Dadza, Little Technoblade, Big Wilbur set. This one was just me projecting onto Techno because he's my comfort character, so yeah. Author's note, in this chapter, Techno is agender. He doesn't really relate with any gender, but he is born female, so he's complaining and in pain from his time of the month. Also, I'll be using Zizamzir and it's itself. I hope you'll enjoy. Content warning for crying little, period pains, mentions of cramps and bleeding, binding for too long, bruises, meds, and diaper mentions. So I know those kind of things make some people uncomfy. Techno groaned, rolling over, clutching at Zir's stomach. It was in pain and bleeding. Not by Zir's choice, of course. Not that it had any at the moment. Zir's ribs ached and its stomach cramped, leaving them in so much pain it could barely get out of bed. Z felt its eyes fill with tears, whining a bit as Zir's headspace began to creep up upon it. Meanwhile, Phil knew that his little was in that time of the month and had tried to come up with the best ways to comfort his eldest child. He carefully climbed the stairs, Midal a heated blanket and his kid's favorite chocolate in hand, ready to offer hugs or give space if need be. He gently knocked on the door. Techno, kiddo, Phil called quietly. He earned a small whine in response and took that as an answer. He could come in. He slowly entered, quickly noticing the little, curled up on the bed. He felt his heart pang and offered a gentle smile as he held out the items to his oldest. I brought you some stuff, hun. I hope it's all right, Phil says gently. Techno's watery scarlet eyes meet Phil's calm ocean ones as the younger gently nods, grimacing in pain as your stomach cramps worsen suddenly. Phil carefully opens the bottle of Midal, taking out 2 pills and handing them to Techno along with a glass of water. It takes them, quickly swallowing them down with water before handing the glass back to Philza. Phil turns to leave, a small hand reaching out and quickly grabbing his shirt before he can get too far. Da! Techno whimpers out. Phil quickly turns, his eyes meeting a tear-streaked face. Oh, sweetheart, Philza murmurs as he pulls the little into his arms, holding the little close to him as the other cries into his shoulder. Ertz da! Techno cries, more whimpers escaping their mouth as tears flow freely down its face. What hurts, sweetheart? Phil asks gently, pulling away to look at the little's face. Techno points to their chest and its stomach before sniffling and wiping at their tears with a hand. Phil nods, not wanting to invade or make the little uncomfortable. Is it alright if I go grab Wilbur and ask him to help you change into some comfier clothing? Phil asks gently. Techno pauses for a moment, tears cleared up, yet streaks still visible upon its cheeks. Z nods a bit, thumb gravitating towards his mouth. Philza nods and gently sets the little down on the bed, heading down the hallway to the little's twins' bedroom. He gently raps on the door and waits for a response. Come in, Wilbur calls out. Phil opens the door, hovering in the doorway. Hey, Will, are you busy right now by any chance? Wilbur pauses for a moment, thinking before shaking his head. No, why? What's up? I just need help changing Techno. Zero little right now, and I didn't want to make it uncomfortable, Philza answers, taking a quick breath before continuing, and I figured since you're a Zero twin, it'd be more comfortable if you helped change them. Wilbur nods, standing up from his desk. Sure, I can help, Dad, he answers, walking past Philza and down the hall. Phil follows, stopping outside of Techno's doorway as Wilbur heads in. Hey, kiddo, Will says quietly as he enters, noticing the way his twin is acting. Bubba, Techno cries, grabbing hands, reaching out for their twin. Wilbur smiles, picking a little up. Let's get you changed into some more comfortable clothes, Techno responds. Wilbur walks over to Techno's closet, rummaging through it for the little's comfier clothes, eventually finding out a diaper, a pink pair of fuzzy pajama pants covered in Minecraft pigs, and an oversized gray hoodie that once belonged to his dad's. Wilbur rests everything on the bed, setting the little down and helping him out of his bottoms and into a diaper and his PJ pants. He then moves on to the top, helping the little out of his t-shirt, quickly noticing the little is still wearing his binder and the slight bruising around it. Hey kiddo, how long have you been wearing your binder for? Wilbur asks gently. Techno shrugs, eyes glazed over, unable to focus. His chest hurts, and Z doesn't know why. Its small brain can't understand why it's bad. Z was still wearing its binder. Z remembered putting it on the morning before, and it made Zem feel better, made it feel androgynous, not like a girl, not like anything, just happy. Wilbur offers a gentle smile. I'm going to take your binder off, okay, hun? That way your ribs can have a break. Techno sniffles a bit but nods, eyes slowly closing and allowing their sibling to remove its binder and change them into an oversized hoodie. All done, Wilbur announces, placing a gentle kiss to the little's forehead. Thank you for staying so still, Bubs. Techno hugs Wilbur tight, clinging to the other. Wilbur feels a gentle smile across his face as he holds his sibling in his arms. Slowly pacing around the room, he walks over to the bedroom door, opening it and allowing Phil to come back in. Techno reaches out for Sir Dada once it sees him. Phil takes the little from Wilbur, thanking him as the other leaves the room. Phil walks over to the little's bed, sitting down onto it, and plugging in the heated blanket, resting over the little's stomach on a low setting as he turned on the little's favorite cartoon and handed some its passy. I love you, kiddo, and you'll always be my kiddo, no matter what, Phil murmurs into Techno's hair as he places a gentle kiss to the top of the little's head. Techno smiles, babbling gently behind Zir Passy, Little H having dropped drastically. It felt tired, but loved and protected. Z felt its eyes droop, forcing them open as Z yawned wide, Passy nearly falling from its lips, had it not been for Daza and his quick reflexes. Techno rested Zir's head on Phil's shoulder, eyes getting heavier and heavier as the cartoon episode continued on, another wide yawn interrupting his concentration. It's alright, hun, you can go to sleep, Phil says quietly. Techno slowly nods, Zir's eyes falling shut as it gives in to sleep. Phil smiles, readjusting the blankets over the little and turning the volume down a bit, making sure the little is comfortable where it lays. He smiles as his hand runs through the little's long locks. He couldn't have asked for a better little one. Quick pause because I need a water break because my throat is dying. Not literally. It's just a metaphor, little ones, don't worry. Sorry about that. Anyway, chapter 68, CG Foolish Gamers, Little Dream XD. This one was like randomly popping into my own head, so yeah. That's kind of the only explanation I can give for this one. Author's note, this is my own AU. It takes place in another universe, or the Gods realm. The gods are Dream XD, George HD, Awesome Dude, Foolish Gamers, Mumza, and Technoblade, as well as just XP. Side notes, the gods also have the ability to shrink or grow whenever they want, and I hope you'll enjoy. There are some other gods I have to add to that list, but I can't remember what they are right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't remember. If I remember by the end of the video, I'll let you know. XD, knock it off right now. Foolish gently scolds a little as he drew on the walls in crayon. XD stuck his tongue out his CG and continued to work on his drawing of the earth. He had gone there while big and didn't understand why his CG liked living there so much. He pouted lightly as he was given a second warning and switched to markers for the green parts of his earth. Bubba can have juice piece? XD asked politely. No, XD, not until you learn to listen. Foolish answers. The CG gets up from his place by the table and fills the little sippy cup with water, placing it down beside the little. XD frowns and snaps his fingers, the drawing he was working on disappearing instantly. Thank you, XD, Foolish praises quietly. XD pouts a bit and grabs his cup of water, making grabby hands with his free hand. Foolish picks the little up, resting the ladder on his hip, smiling gently as he realizes the little's beginning to get tired and that it's about nap time for the other. I apologize. My sister had a question for me. Bubba, we watch Paw Patrol? XD asks quietly, words slurred by his thumb. Foolish nods, snapping his fingers, XD's passy appearing in his free hand. He gently moves XD's thumb away from his mouth, slipping the passy between the little's lips as he walks over to the couch in the living area. Foolish sits down on the couch, laying the little next to him, so the little god's head is resting in his lap as he shrinks down to the size of a 2-year-old. Foolish coos lightly, his fingers tangling into the little soft brown locks, watching as the little's eyes begin to droop while listening to the sound of Paw Patrol play, his CG's hands messing with his hair. He snuggles deeper into his CG's lap, eyes falling shut as his breathing deepens and evens out. Foolish smiles and throws a blanket over the little, free hand still running through the little soft locks. Sweet dreams, bud, Foolish whispers, leaning down and placing a kiss to the side of the little's head. Alright, chapter 69, CG, Captain Puffy, Little Tommy in it. There isn't much actual little space interaction going on here. It's more or less just Puffy, taking her little with her while she is just kind of going and running errands. So there isn't really much. I didn't notice it at the time, but it's not really focusing on Tommy, it's focusing on Puffy, which is really weird, so I might end up rewriting this chapter, but I'm not entirely sure yet. You're just Mama's babe today, aren't you, duckling? Puffy asked quietly, looking down at the baby-minded boy laid in her lap. The baby gurgles, giggling quietly behind his passy in response to her question. Puffy chuckles and smiles, cooing lightly at the baby. Such a precious boy, she murmurs as she adjusts his position, gently kissing the little's forehead. Let's go get some strawberries for our picnic later this evening, Puffy gets up, cradling the little in her arms. She walks over by the door, picking up the woven basket from its place and slipping it onto her free arm. She walks out the door, little now resting on her hip, his head resting on her shoulder, as his eyes droop sleepily. She hums a soft melody and keeps a steady pace in her step, watching for divots and uneven sidewalk. She does a small spin as the baby's eyes open, hearing his laughter as she does so. She coos gently, her happy duckling. She sighs contently, continuing on her way. She remembered when her sons had been this small, this young. She missed those days. Not that she took any of those moments for granted. They were all well spent. She smiles fondly at the memories stuck in the past as she reaches the farmer's market, walking between the stalls, looking for the main person who sold strawberries for a good price. Puffy soon found her, Nikki and her little Jack at their usual stall. She was conversing with another customer when Puffy first walked up, but she looked around at the stalls adjacent to Nikki's, waiting for her friend to finish up with her customer. Soon enough, Nikki sends the customer on their way, and Puffy approaches her once more. "Puffy!" Nikki exclaims, a smile crossing her features. "It's so good to see you again." "Hey, Nikki, it's good to see you too," Puffy answers, smile playing on her lips. "What can I get you today?" Nikki asks. Well, I came to pick up some strawberries. Do you have any?" Puffy asks quietly. "Of course," Nikki answers, smile evident on her face as she bustles around her stall for a moment before returning with a small basket of strawberries. She hands them to Puffy and takes the money Puffy offers her, their interaction coming to a quick end. As Puffy went on her way, she was excited for the picnic later that evening, and she knew that her little would be as well. Alright, so this next one-shot actually turned into like a little miniature one-shot series that I have going on right now. I think there's currently 2 chapters. I believe it's called To Be Loved. I will double check that after I finish this one. So, yeah. I hope you all enjoy it, and thank you so much for listening this far. Chapter 70, CGJ Schlatt, Little Fundy. Author's note: Fundy's really stressed out and starts to have a panic/anxiety attack. I'm not entirely sure which one it was in the end. It has the symptoms of both, and I wasn't sure how severe it was, so I didn't really give it like a full label. Constant warning, panic, anxiety attack, crying little. I think that's it, to be honest. Whimpers and sobs trailed down the hallway and into his office. He was concerned, to say the least. Schlatt got up from his place at his desk and walked down the hall, trying to locate the sound of distress. He made it to the main hallway and found his secretary knelt on the ground, tears pouring down his face and his breathing shallow. "Hey kid, you alright?" Jay Schlatt asks, concerned. He doesn't get a response, Fundy's eyes darting this way and that as he tries to focus on anything to bring himself back to reality, to get a grip on his breathing. Jay Schlatt carefully kneels down by the younger, sitting crisscross from the boy, sighing quietly. He reaches out a hand and lets it rest in front of the boy, palm side up. After a few minutes, Fundy cautiously reaches out his own hand and places it in Schlatt's. Schlatt gently squeezes the younger's hand. "In for 4, hold for 8, out for 6. Schlatt says gently. Fundy nods, trying to steady his breathing, but quickly failing, ending in a coughing, sputtering mess. "It's alright, kiddo, try it again," Schlatt says, exaggerating his breathing to help Portal. After a few more minutes, Fundy's breathing is back to normal. Tears wiped from his cheeks and eyes closed as he sits, head resting against Schlatt's chest, listening to the older's heartbeat. "You alright, pup?" Jay Schlatt asks quietly. Fundy nods, thumb gravitating towards his mouth. Jay Schlatt knows better to tell the little no, but he figures it's all they have on hand at the moment, and it could bring the kid some sort of comfort, so he lets the little do it, regardless of how unsanitary it may be. "Da?" Fundy asks quietly. Jay Schlatt looks down at the little. "Yeah, kiddo?" Fundy shrugs and smiles, kicking his feet a bit as he closes his eyes again. He had someone to take care of him again. Jay Schlatt smiles, a hand gently rubbing up and down the little's back. He had someone to take care of again. So that's the end of that one. I believe it's 2 chapters, because I do not believe I have it in my main docs. No, that's the Eric fanfic. Yeah, if y'all want to let me know if you would like me to read any other one-shots, like I have MHA, DSMP X Reader, that's a new one, Haikyuu X Reader, those are really old, Aaron and Techno's Little Library, Haikyuu one-shots, DSMP Petre one-shots, those are also really old, Encanto Little Space X Reader, or Encanto X Little Space Reader, I should say, Creepypasta Agere one-shots, those are really old, To Be Loved is a series, I think it's a series, or maybe just be one giant story, I don't remember. that one's one I've been working on. Haikyuu Agere one-shots. That one gets added on to every time I type up a story. You all know DSMP one-shots. My miscellaneous one-shots is like The Promised Neverland, Escape the Infinity, that kind of thing, because I don't really have official folders for it because I don't write it that often. MHAX Reader, those are pretty old. To Enjoy the Little Things in Life, that is a Air at Central Fic. I think To Be Loved might be the Sam Fic, I don't remember. Fantasy Story is one I wrote for me and my boyfriend, but we broke up, so I changed it all ish. I just changed the names, I didn't change the storyline. I like the storyline. MHA one shots, that one has like some smut and stuff in it, as does the DSMP one shots. And then MHA Agere one shots. I think that's all. So if y'all are interested in hearing something other than DSMP one shots, comment below, let me know, and thank you all so much for listening as far as you have. I hope you all have a fantabulous day, night, afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it may be for you. I love you all, and farewell for now to all my tiny tots, little ones, big kids, tweens, teens, everyone in between, CGs, flips, and adults. Bye!